What's up guys? In today's video, I'm going to share with you a few different ways that I leverage ChatGPT to use it in my Airbnb business. So for those of you who don't know, I invest in properties for Airbnb. I've also managed other people's properties on Airbnb. Shameless plug, links in the description down below for some free trainings to learn more about how to do that yourself. But for me, ChatGPT is a pretty useful tool when it comes to managing and investing in properties for Airbnb. And so I want to do a quick video just sharing with you a few of the different ways that I use it in my day-to-day. So let's just dive right in and get started with it. And if you like this video, if you get value from it, if you enjoy it, please at any point, just hit that little like button down below. It really does help me out a lot with growing this channel, getting these videos in front of more people. So let's jump into it. The first and most obvious, easy way that I use ChatGPT in my Airbnb business is for writing actual Airbnb listing headlines and descriptions. So I already have a format that I follow for how I write a really good winning Airbnb title and Airbnb listing description, how I structure all the details that I give to guests, and also for writing captions underneath photos. But what I found is that sometimes my creative juices just aren't flowing as well as I'd like them to be. And so the nice thing about using ChatGPT is I can actually I can feed into ChatGPT what my preferred structure is. So for example, with my listing description, I always like to have bullet point lists so that I'll have a heading for each one of the rooms in the property and then bullet points for exactly what amenities there are or what different extras and things there are in that room. For me, I really like that because it makes it really, really easy for the guests to gather the information they're looking for. Sure, if you write a big, long paragraph, it can, just flow better, communicate things more, but it makes it a lot harder for the guests to find the answer to their question. If they just want to know what size the bed is in one of the bedrooms, you don't want them having to scan a big wall of text and a whole bunch of paragraphs to get that information. And so what we've found is that you'll get much higher conversion rates on your Airbnb listing if you structure it in a more bullet point form way. And so there's things like that where I have a preferred structure, but I just want to have some more creative input essentially. And so ChatGPT is really great for that. I can tell it exactly what I want in terms of how I want the actual listing description written, and then just ask it to write the description for me. I can also feed it a whole bunch of information about the property and ask me to make a headline for an Airbnb listing that is limited to X number of characters, because with Airbnb listing descriptions, or the listing headlines rather, it's super important to communicate as much value about the property as possible in a limited number of characters. And so I can get help from ChatGPT with that. Same thing with the about the property. There's a little bit that's above before the guest actually clicks on the view more details. They only get like a paragraph about the property description. And so I want that description to be really jam-packed with value. And I want to communicate why this guest should book this property, to learn more about it, to stay at it, that kind of thing. And so really that paragraph, I want to master it so that I can get a higher conversion rate. So writing those things, ChatGPT, really, really great for it. That's a pretty easy and obvious use case for it. Now, the other thing I like using ChatGPT for that's a little bit less obvious is all my message templates. I like to use it to just refine and improve my message templates for any of the check-in messages, check-out messages, post-stay messages, check-in messages. So when I kind of touch base with the guest after their first night, or if I have frequently asked questions, and I just want to kind of refine my answers to those, ChatGPT can be really, really great for that as well. Now, another use case I found for it that is exceptional is helping me to write two things. Guys, just want to take a quick break here to say that for those of you watching who want to build cash flow and long-term wealth by purchasing Airbnbs and short-term rental properties, there's a link in the description right down below for a free training that'll walk you through my exact strategy for investing successfully in Airbnbs. Now, if you're not ready to actually buy properties and you want to get started managing other people's properties on Airbnb the same way I got started and build a full-time income managing other people's properties, there's actually another free training linked in the description down below as well that'll be a really great fit for you. So whether you want to invest in short-term rental properties and actually build amazing cash flow and long-term wealth by acquiring the assets, buying the properties themselves, or you're looking to earn a full-time income managing other people's properties on Airbnb, we've got some awesome trainings that are linked in the description down below that'll definitely help you out.
When you sign up for the trainings, we're also going to send you a few other tools and resources completely for free just to help you get started. Again, the links to sign up are in the description down below, and both trainings and all of the tools are completely free. So make sure to register for the trainings, links in the description down below.
Now, another use case I found for it that is exceptional is helping me to write two things. One, job descriptions, and two, operations manuals or guidelines, SOPs for the people on my team. So I put together a video recently on this channel. If you haven't checked it out, I'd recommend it, for some tips to help you to automate and outsource your guest communication. Now, in that video, I explain how I do a job posting for a guest communication person that I like to hire once I've got a lot of the automation sorted out. And then I like to provide that person also with standard operating manuals so that they know exactly how to go about their role on a day-to-day basis. Now, writing both of those things, the job description and the operations manual, are pretty tedious and time consuming, if I'm honest. And so in order to do that much more quickly, more efficiently, and just frankly do a way better job than I would otherwise do on my own, I love to use ChatGPT for that. So what's really cool is that I can just input, hey, I've got a job description, this is what I'm looking for, this is the ideal person, these are the hours, this is the pay, that kind of thing, into ChatGPT and say, write me a job description. It's gonna write a phenomenal job description, and that's how, again, when I mentioned briefly in that other video that when I posted my most recent job opening for a guest communication person, I got several hundred applications from people interested in that position. And so a well-written job description can mean that you attract more highly qualified, highly skilled candidates who are interested in your role, which means you're gonna get a better person that you actually end up hiring. It's gonna do a better job and be just overall better to work with. That's one thing that I really love about ChatGPT, is just being able to write that, do it really well. For anything that's more standardized, like a job description, it tends to do a really phenomenal job of it. Same thing on the operations manual. I can just explain to it what the role is. I can put in my current operations manual if I have one and just get to refine it, or I can just say, hey, write me an operations manual for a guest communication person for Airbnb, and then I can basically go off of that and keep on refining it and working with different prompts to get exactly what I'm looking for. So those are a few of the most common ways that I use it. You can also, if you're doing property management, use it to improve your messaging for things like marketing, for your website, for your outreach messages that you might be sending to people. That can all be really useful as well. If you're looking for investors to partner with, you can help it to write you your messaging or your website, again, for how to actually attract those investors. There's so many use cases for ChatGPT, and I find that a lot of the things that are more creative, like marketing copy or sales copy, those can be really good with the right prompts and just help to get your creative juices flowing a bit better. And then for anything that's less creative and more just operational, it just does a phenomenal job. It's just so easy to plug that into ChatGPT and just have it spit out something that's probably miles better than what you, if you're anything like me, would have done on your own without it in just a small fraction of the time. So those are some of the most common ways that I use ChatGPT in my business day to day. I'd love to know from you down in the comment section down below if there are other ways that you've used ChatGPT for your Airbnb business that you found exceptionally helpful. Again, just let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, you got value from it, if it was helpful to you in any way, shape, or form, please take a half a second and just hit the like button down below this video. It helps me get these videos in front of more people and just helps me to grow this channel. So I do really appreciate it. It's a small thing that you can do that honestly does make a really big difference to me and mean a lot to me. So thank you so much for doing that. And then last but not least, if you're new to the channel here or you haven't yet subscribed, just make sure you hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with the 2 new videos you post every single week here on the channel. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.